My first three videos showed you how to install, update, and tweak Windows XP. In this video I'm going to show you the actual software that I use, and all the software used in this video is free and open source, with the exception of the antivirus Avira, which is free for personal use but not open source. And before we get started, I'd just like to take a look at the task manager here, and I only have 22 processes running right now. Two of those are related to my virtual machine, so if I were running this in a regular machine I would only have 20 processes. I'd like for you to compare that to your system on how many processes you have running when your computer boots up. So and then if you have like 40, 45 or more, you should really take a look at what you have running and slim down your startup processes. Okay, so first I'm going to start out with the web browser. My preferred web browser is Mozilla Firefox for a few reasons. Mainly its advantages over Internet Explorer in that it's faster, safer, and extensible, and it also conforms to web standards much better than Internet Explorer does. In my next video I'll show you how to add extensions to Firefox, but in general Firefox is just much more user-friendly than Internet Explorer. I know people complain about not wanting to switch away from Internet Explorer because they know it, but Firefox interface is much simpler than Internet Explorer, especially Internet Explorer 8, since they've added all the compatibility views and stuff like that. So I encourage you to switch to Firefox. Google Chrome and Opera are also reasonable alternatives, but my favorite remains Firefox. Just do not use Internet Explorer. Alright, next I'd like to look at chat clients. I don't use the AIM client, although I do use the AIM network. The AOL Instant Messenger client is just a pain. It installs things without your permission. It's bloated. It's difficult to use, and it only supports now it supports AIM and Facebook and Twitter, but so does Pigeon, my recommended chat client. So AIM is basically adware, and I don't recommend it. Yahoo Messenger is another chat client. I don't recommend it either because it's pretty much like AIM. It's bloated. It's a pain to use. Windows Live Messenger accesses the MSN network. It's not as offensive as the previous two chat clients, but it still only supports one network, and I don't recommend it. Google Talk is probably the best of the single protocol chat clients, but it's not as functional as my recommended client, which is Pigeon. It supports all of these chat networks, plus more via third-party plugins. It supports encryption, a whole array of third-party plugins. It's extremely streamlined and lean, and you can skin it how you want to, but the default is very clean, and I prefer that. So that's the chat client I prefer. Next is Office Suites. I think most people still use Microsoft Office, even though I don't believe there's any reason to pay for it unless you're an enterprise user. There's a great replacement called OpenOffice. I'll open up OpenOffice Writer right now. It's completely compatible with Microsoft Office. It can open Word files, Excel files, PowerPoint files. It also has its own open standard format. So, you know, it's a great free replacement for Microsoft Office. There's really no reason to buy Microsoft Office. So next is mail clients. My preferred mail client is Mozilla Thunderbird. Once again, free and open source. It's a replacement for Outlook Express, which is really terrible. there's basically no features in Outlook Express. It's really old and it hasn't been improved in a long time, and I really encourage you to switch if you're still using it. Outlook is more fully featured than Outlook Express. It comes packaged in some versions of Office, and it's not a bad program, I don't think, but I don't like it as much as Mozilla Thunderbird, which is extensible and has a ton of extensions and is much leaner than Microsoft Office Outlook. Another option is Windows Live Mail, which comes with Windows Vista, Windows 7. Once again, it's stripped down. It's basically the replacement of Outlook Express. Once Microsoft stopped developing Outlook Express, they rebranded it as Windows Mail and took away some of its features. So I don't recommend it either. My recommended mail client, as I said, is Thunderbird. Next is media players, more specifically video players. I guess a popular video player is still Real Player, and there's really no reason, absolutely no reason, to have Real Player on your system. If you have it on your system, just uninstall it. Like, there's no reason to use Real Player. I don't understand why people have it on their system unless they were tricked into downloading it, which they probably were. But Real Player is completely unnecessary. Another media player is Windows Media Player. Ships with all versions of Windows and is somewhat required to be on your system because you need it to play DRM videos, such as Card Runners videos. So it's not terrible, but VLC is much better. QuickTime is sort of like Real. You really don't need it on your system. If you're going to go with QuickTime Pro, that's another case, but you really don't need to download QuickTime onto your system. I realize it's included with iTunes, which is annoying, but QuickTime is useless. And here's VLC. It supports so many formats: MPEG, DivX, Real, OGG, Theora, AVI, you name it, it supports it. So VLC media player. Next is CD burners. I recommend a program called InfraRecorder. It's free and open source. It's extremely lightweight. Most Dells ship with a stripped down version of either Roxio or Nero. Even though these programs come stripped down as trialware, they are extremely bloated at the same time, which is counterintuitive, but they are. You can look and see how many background processes both of these programs run, and it's just insane. The background processes do nothing except slow your computer down. InfraRecorder, on the other hand, runs no background processes. It's extremely small and lightweight and very fast, and fully featured. It can burn CDs or DVDs, as well as creating ISO images and burning ISO images. Okay, next is PDF readers, and I suppose the most popular PDF reader is Adobe Reader, but I don't recommend it for a few reasons. One, it's huge, bloated, and runs background processes for no good reason. It's slow, and it's insecure, and it tries to install additional things which are not very good, so such as the McAfee security scan. So my recommended is Sumatra PDF. And last but not least is my antivirus of choice, which is Avira Antivirus, which replaces McAfee, which is horrible, bloated, and offers very poor protection. Same as Norton, horrible, bloated, very poor protection, but better than McAfee. Trend Micro, not very good either. AVG is free, but offers very little protection. It used to be good, but I no longer recommend it. Avira is definitely my recommended antivirus of choice. So check out my next video.